Good afternoon, traders. It is Friday, October 10th, 2014, and U.S. stock market is closed. Boy, am I glad it's Friday. I really am going to enjoy not trading for the next few days. That is the feeling that I get. Taking these trades is really difficult in this kind of environment, and it just feels like nothing I can do is going to pay off, and that is the way these markets feel like today. Today the Dow fell another 115 points. I think that's good, but the problem is that it has these little pop-ups at the beginning of the day that causes problems, and today it did that again. There's a couple points during the day. The Dow was up like 70, 80, maybe even 90 points. I wasn't watching it too closely, but it had a decent rally, and the problem with that is it gets us in to some trades, and what happened today, it only got us into 3 trades. Now that normally isn't too bad, but they all, when all of them go against you, and then you got one that is really going against you, that can add up to significant losses. And so we're carrying over $6,000 in negative trades going into Monday. And then, of course, we had only one position coming into today in SoFund, but that got slammed immediately on the open. The little pop-up didn't help SoFund at all, and so we're batting zero again. And that's the way it feels. It feels like no matter what this happens here, we're going to bat zero, and I just want to scream and run away from these markets. But you may wonder, well, why don't I run away? And that's why I have made money over time, is that I don't get out when things get really hot. And I will say that even though these losses are really, when they come day after day after day, and they are adding up, there's no question about that, but still, believe me, I've seen a lot worse. I mean, you're talking to a guy that once lost $85,000 in a single day when he started the day with only $200,000, nearly half the account in a single day. So I know what big losses are, and these aren't big losses, but they still really hurt. And the reason I stay in this is that there will be a turnaround day. There will be a turnaround day when, possibly half our losses are made up in a single day, maybe even more in that. And it's going to come at a time just when you least expect it. That's the way it always happens. So I hang in here and I keep trading, but God, it's terrible. And believe me, after putting this video up, I'm going to shut down everything having to do with the market and have a nice weekend, not even think about these things, because it's horrible. It's really difficult. Anyway, I'm sorry for babbling on about this. So we closed out negative $2,700 today, and we're carrying negative $6,400 going into Monday, and the Dow was down 115 points. Let's take a look at the chart. Okay, we're looking at the Dow here, and I'm looking at this chart. I mean, first of all, you see all this wild, volatile, zigzagging back and forth with no apparent trend, at least up till yesterday. But in looking at this now, we are seeing lower highs here coming in, which do indicate a downtrend. And what was, I think, most significant here is, we had some resistance across the bottom here, and that resistance was really taken out today, and then on top of that resistance being taken out, I mean, look at this last bar, last 15 minutes, this thing really dived, and he even found a new red line that goes back, God knows how far that red line goes back, but it cut right through that like a hot knife through butter, and the Dow basically did close on its low. So there's and another thing, we finally had 2 days of consecutive movement in one direction, which is something we haven't seen recently. So I would say after today, yeah, the trend in the Dow is definitely down, and I would anticipate it's going to go lower. And as I say, I would like it to go down to 16,000, but we'll just have to see what happens. And I'm not going to predict it on Monday. It definitely looks to me like it's going to go down on Monday, but how the crazy markets are, I just don't know what's going to happen for sure. Anyway, definitely have a downtrend here in the Dow, and we may be headed toward a major correction in this bull market. I don't have any good trades today show you today, so I'm just going to show you the horrible. I mean, why not? This is like early Halloween for traders. This first one is in SoFund. That was our only trade we had this morning coming in. God, I wish we had stayed out of that. I don't know how we get into a trade on a day that the Dow falls over 300 points, but that's what happened yesterday. We got into this yesterday right after the open, and it was just down, and then slam us right the first 15 minutes of the day, and we are out of that with over $3,000 loss. And you look at this chart, I mean, I'm glad we're out of it. I mean, this is definitely a stock that's going down, but drives me crazy that we got into this. Why did we get into this? I'm not sure. Anyway, we're following the system. And then the last house of horrors I will show you is ICIS Pharmacology. Again, a good market for us normally, good stock, but it's been pretty terrible the last 3 days. We had gotten 3 days ago, we got into this thing, and it looked so good. We were holding a good profit on this on Wednesday on the close, but then it really couldn't hold on to that. It failed, and we got out yesterday. Now, I want to say that we did not take big loss on this. This was just a couple $100 loss on this, but the fact is we were looking at like at least $2,000 when it was up here, and that isn't where we got out. So that was disappointing. But then this morning we get the pop-up on this thing again. It takes out these highs, so it looks fairly good, and then it just immediately fails, and it tries to rally out of here, and then it really fails. And this is looking like the Dow now, closing almost on its low, and we're carrying again a $3,000 loss in this thing, but this is open trade, so we have Monday morning to look forward to in ICIS Pharmacology, and we don't know what's going to happen Monday morning. Anyway, really bad day. I am looking forward to the weekend. You guys have a great weekend. Don't let these markets get to you. I'll see you on Monday.